estimate activity durations. In simple terms, it is nothing but the time that we need for each activity to complete. So it is also done throughout the project, not done at one point of time. So usually it is the first estimate based on the past experience, and then it is monitored against the actual time. So let's quickly have a look at what is expected as outputs. Duration estimates. The time estimation of each activity is this task. Like the activity A can happen between 3 weeks, plus minus 3 days. Again, not just plus minus 3 days. We should also mention with what is the chance of success or chance of not getting success. So all those things are captured here in the estimates. Basis of estimates is how are these estimates derived? The reasoning behind these estimates. What is the basis on which the estimates are derived? That is the output for this activity. And then the project documents update. What documents we can update? Again, assumptions log, lessons learned can be updated here. Such things have to be updated after the end of this process. Now, what can we act as inputs? Project management plan, of course. Again, it will act as input. What in project management plan, if you ask? Schedule management plan and scope baseline. These two activities we can use as inputs. And project documents, also an important thing. It keeps on getting repeated in every process. So that also we can use as input. And of course, it goes without saying, enterprise environmental factors and organizational process assets. So let's jump into the tools and techniques. Again, the expert consultancy. We consult an expert to understand whether the estimation is right or not. Analogous estimating. What is this? This is nothing but the estimation based on similar project data that we had in the past. We have data from the past. Not in every case that the organization is doing its first project, right? So every organization has experience from one or other project that it has done before. So it will use that data for estimating. So it will not exactly match, of course. No two projects are going to match, but at least for the estimation, we can use that data. Similarly, parametric estimation, also based on historical data, but what is the difference between 2 and 3 is in 3 we add up the statistical formulas, Monte Carlo simulations and all. Those simulations are added, and then estimation is made a little more accurate here. So that is why the name parametric estimating is given. 3-point estimation. This I think is something important to learn. 3-point estimating. Some questions will come through this. What is this? 3-point estimation is nothing but we have done an analogous estimating and parametric estimating based on the previous experience, right? So in 3-point estimation, again, let me make use of the pen. So this is 3-point estimation. The name is called TE. And then this is nothing but an average of T0 and TM and TP. What is TM? This is nothing but the estimated time that we have taken from our previous experience. So this is that simple formula. So TM is nothing but the estimation based on our previous experience. T0 is the best case scenario and TP is the worst case scenario. Again, what is best case scenario and worst case scenario? Best case scenario is nothing but, we have discussed leads and lags, right? So if it has a lead, that is the best case scenario. If it has a lag, that is the worst case scenario. So all the cases are considered, and then the average is that a 3-point estimation, right? So very simple thing. The names sound very difficult, guys. This is nothing more than simple math. So don't be worried. So 3-point estimating will come as one of the questions in your exam. So keep it in mind, an important one. Bottom-up estimate. What happens here? This is, I think we have already learned this. This is an estimation of the total project duration. It breaks down the work structure, nothing but the WBS. So data analysis, moving up to data analysis. Here, an alternative analysis could be the tool. We know what an alternative analysis is. What else could there be? Reserve analysis. Reserve analysis can also be the data analysis, one of the data analysis. Reserve analysis is nothing but the schedule reserve. In case of uncertainty, we reserve some time, right? So that analysis is also important. And of course, decision making, we know we have many tools for decision making we learned in the previous classes. And then of course, meetings can be used as tools and techniques for this process. Moving on, developing schedule. So developing schedule, again, is it done at a specific point or throughout the project. You guessed it right. It is also done throughout the project. So it is not done at a one single point. This process is done all through the project. So now that we have all the time estimates done from the previous processes, we get to create a few constraints, or time bound targets to develop the final schedule. So I hope you're all with me. So this is nothing but the iterative process, right? So, or agile. So developing schedule focuses more on agile methodology. Let's see what we need to produce as outputs. Okay, a lot of them. We need to baseline the schedule as a result of the process. I hope you all still remember what a baseline is. Baseline is nothing but an approved schedule. Schedule management, schedule plan versus schedule baseline. Plan is the not approved plan, and baseline is the approved plan. So we have to get the schedule baselined or approved at the end of this process. We need to make the project schedule to be ready at the end of this project. So we have seen an illustration about how this project schedule looks like, right? In the very first slide, I think I remember telling you, it could be in the form of a bar chart, it could be the Gantt chart. Do you recollect, or shall I use my exceptional drawing skills again? So this is nothing but on the left side, you have all the list of activities, and then all the other columns, we have months, January, February, March, something like this. And then we have the project schedule, right? So at the end of this activity, this chart has to be ready. This is called Gantt chart. So instead of this, we also have the activity list. So instead of just pasting the activities here, we also have a formal document for the activity list. Again, we learned about what this activity list is. This is nothing but the list of activities with attributes given. So on the left, we have specific attributes given, number 1, 2, 3, just an example. And these numbers are identified for easy reference, right? So every time we talk about one particular activity, we give that as a reference. This doesn't come in the exam, but I'm talking about the general project management practices. So this activity list is also a part of project schedule. Scheduling the data, all the information that is related to the scheduling, like requirements of resources at times, might even be the alternate schedules. All these are the scheduling data. The project calendars are important. I think it is self-understanding. We have change requests, the live document against the schedule. We have project management plan updates. What can be updated here? Again, schedule management plan can be updated. Cost baseline can be updated. And then project documents are updated as the 7th output. So these are the outputs. What are the inputs that we need? Of course, we will need the project management plan. We will be needing a set of project documents. What can be these project documents? They could be the activity list. They could be assumptions log, the list of milestones, risk registers, resource calendars. Resource calendars, what does it mean? The availability of the resources, right? Some person might be going for a long leave, for a marriage leave, for example. That might affect the project. So the resource calendars are also important project documents. So what else could there be? The project schedule network diagrams that we have designed before, that could be used as a project document. I think that's about it. And then we have agreements. I think we need not recollect what these agreements are. Memorandum of understanding, letter of intent, all these documents that we discussed before. Non-disclosure agreements with the vendors and the customers, so that they don't disclose our technology to anybody else. All such agreements are needed. Enterprise environmental factors. Again, this is a repeated input in almost all schedules. And the organizational process assets also act as an important input. We have to make sure all our organizational practices are followed throughout all processes.